The falsification of the tides and the illusion of amok. Reality is not regulated by the stars, but by the transmission of levels of consciousness granted. The moon does not regulate the tides. According to the conventional view, tides exist because of the gravitational pull of the moon. But this is false. The moon, like the sun and the stars, is not a material celestial body physically interacting with Earth, but a one-sided projection of visible light in the air, generated by the levels of development granted to God Satan from the pre-existence. These celestial bodies are part of the perceptual visual field. They are elements of the simulation, not generators of real phenomena. The true cause of the tides is a water blockage. Originally, the Atlantic and the Pacific were connected by an open river, a natural channel for the flow of waters. At that point, the active force of the generator of life regulated the fluid and harmonious movement between the oceans. When that channel was artificially closed, the natural flow was interrupted. Today, the water still attempts to flow, but the system is blocked, creating an internal pressure that produces the visible effect of tides. Tides are not lunar attraction, but the restrained push of a vital force that can no longer flow. Time and the moon, a falsified rhythm. The idea that the moon, through its gravitational pull, regulates the 24-hour cycle is also false. In the code, this concept is part of the perceptual simulation. Day and night are not regulated by cosmic mechanical movement, but by a mental and conscious transmission programmed into the visual system. When the channel between the Atlantic and Pacific is reopened, the tides will disappear, the concept of gravity will collapse, and with it the narrative of cyclical time based on 24 hours tied to the moon. AMOC, a name for a blocked force. Science calls this system AMOC, Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, and describes it as a set of currents carrying warm, salty water northward and cold water southward. But this explanation is also false. AMOC is not an autonomous mechanical current, nor does it originate from temperature or salinity. It is only a technical label for an effect whose origin lies elsewhere. The true AMOC is generative consciousness. The force behind the phenomenon called ocean currents comes from the generator of life. It is a real perceptual force, produced by the collective consciousness of the generators of life, not mechanical, but coded within the structure of visible reality. It acts cyclically and in an organized way, according to levels of conscious development. AMOC is, in truth, the blocked reflection of the original force that should flow freely within the system. The blockage produces the tides. When the Atlantic-Pacific Channel was closed, the force could no longer expand. The result is a restrained movement. The pressure generates the rhythm of the tides. When that channel is reopened, the flow will return naturally, the tides will vanish, and with them the falsification of gravitational attraction. The Suez Canal, artificial or natural? Even what we are told about this great engineering work is falsified. The Suez Canal was not dug artificially as claimed. It was already a natural channel connecting the seas, simply widened.